Hello from here. My name is Dr. Taye Lulu, and this afternoon I'm here to speak with the parents about some concerning issues. As a lot of you already know, I run a mentorship program for children, and by the grace of God, I qualify, I qualify to mentor any child registered into my mentorship program. But why am I here this afternoon? I'm here particularly because of what I've termed pain points. Pain, P-A-I-N. It's very concerning that a lot of parents they've almost gone berserk. They are becoming a shadow of their individual self because of their child or their children. You know, as a coach and mentor, I can boldly tell you, confidently, of course, that a lot of the things that, bother you and throw you into turmoil concerning your children, a lot of them are actually not pain points. They are actually not pain points. I'm not asking you not to become worried or bothered when you notice certain things in your child. But what I'm trying to tell you is that a lot of the exuberances that our children display when they are younger or when they are in puberty, usually a lot of them pass. Yes, a lot of those things usually eventually pass. Now, how can you discern what to be bothered about and what not to be bothered about? Because I remember sometime last year when I held a seminar with parents. I think a lot of mothers registered for that seminar. And I was talking to them, I was charging them from the standpoint of a mother myself and a coach. I was giving them the expose to a lot of things, issues as pertaining to their children. And many of them were bothered. How will I then know what to be bothered about? Dr. Taye Lulu, you said it's not actually everything I should go, berserk about as it pertains to my child. Now, how do I know what to be bothered about? How do I know when to be jittery? Do you understand? And I told them. And in trying to drive home my point, I remember that I told the parents then, I gave them the example of Jesus. I think the scripture is in Luke chapter 2, verse 41 to 52. Yes, there was also a phase in the life of Jesus when he was, I don't want to use naughty, when he was also, should I say, mischievous, and the mother had to look for him. Himself, his mother, the father, Joseph, the earthly father, Joseph, and a couple of other people, they left Nazareth to Jerusalem for the Passover feast. Okay, they left Nazareth, they went to Jerusalem for a Passover feast. And when the Passover feast was done and they were to return to Nazareth, Mary assumed that 12-year-old Jesus was among the crowd. So they proceeded. I think they had journeyed for up to 2 days or like a day, and when Mary observed that young Jesus was not with them, she searched amongst the crowd, herself and Joseph. Mary searched and she could not find her son. They were already almost at Nazareth, having completed the Passover feast at Jerusalem. So Mary began to look. I'm sure that as a typical mother, she was hysteric. She was afraid. She was angry. She was perplexed. She was perturbed, all at the same time. Where is Jesus? Where is he? So herself, Joseph, and a couple of other people had to travel back to Jerusalem to look for adolescent Jesus. I think Jesus was 12 years old then. Let me look at this thing here. Okay, yes, he was 12 years old. A lot of parents would have called that mischief. He was mischievous, yes. How can I take my son to another town for a festival or something? And on my almost back home, I realized that he escaped. He didn't follow me. Because I'm sure that Mary could not have, you know, been so bothered like that if she did not confirm that Jesus began the journey with them when they were going back. It was when they were almost home, as a mother, where is my son? And she began to look for him. Do you know what young Jesus did? Young Jesus snuck and he ran to the church. He ran to the teachers in the church to learn at their feet about his Father in heaven. Even though he escaped, he snuck for a noble cause. But the fact was still that he was disobedient, he was sneaky, he dodged, all these things peculiar to adolescents. He was also 12 years old. And I'm sure when Mary found her son, I can only imagine what would have happened. She might have even spanked him. Yes, she might have spanked Jesus. Do you understand? So why am I telling you this? I decided to use that story for you to know that it is not every time your adolescents go left that everything is destroyed. It is very funny when some parents reach out to me and they call me and they begin to say overly deep things. And I'll say, what exactly did your son do? What exactly did your daughter do? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to do. She's finished. Am I sure she will still make it? Ma, are you sure she can still make it? Are you sure she can still become somebody in life? Over what? Over a little mischief? I'm not asking you not to address what you need to address in time and to time. What I am saying is that a lot of the times, it's not as bad as it seems. It's not really as bad as it looks. Because you see, when a child becomes an adolescent, there's this thing in them that makes them, they have their sense of inquiry, their sense of curiosity comes up. They tend to become more individualistic, and this is the phase when they usually would query you. You ask me to do this, why should I do it? If I do not do it, what will happen? Must I do it at that time? Do you want me to do it exactly? What if I do it later? They want to counter you. They want to query you. They want to question your authority. It is because of this phase they are in now. Or should I say this phase they are on. It is that phase that is making them to be like that. So a lot of the times when a child hits puberty, there are usually some experiments they try to consciously or subconsciously do. They want to question you sometimes and do the opposite of what you ask them to do to see what will happen. Okay? But when your child becomes like this, it doesn't mean that the good child you've been raising from childhood is lost. That goodness is still in him. And trust me, he will come back. I have a 15-year-old boy. I have another boy that is going to be 13. So, and I have a daughter too that is about 10. So I know what I'm saying. When my first son began his own experimental stage, I was berserk. What is this? Jibola that I know before, if I say, go and do this, hurriedly he would do it. He wanted to please me. He appreciated all I was doing. And Musa, he doesn't want to give me stress at all. When he became around 12 plus, he began to question me. If I say, Jibola, go to blah, 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 go and get me this. Why must I use that flask? Can't I use another one? That one is dirty. Can't I use the clean one? Then I will say, wash that one. I want that one. Mom, if you don't use that one, what will happen? Things like that are very annoying. Okay? Or sometimes he will just do the opposite of what I expect him to do. But because I was already a coach then, I could understand. I think there are some hormones that are secreted in the bodies of adolescents that makes them to be like that. But before I could nail him on the cross of certain misbehaviors, he came to himself. Yes, he came to himself. Before I could begin to nail him on the cross of misbehaviors, calling him this, calling him that, he came to himself. I saw my good boy back. The boy who loves me deeply. I had my son back. So that goodness is still in your child. Yes, when a child goes left once and again, it doesn't mean he's doomed. Don't stereotype that child that you're already like this. Thank God you are not the only one I have. Thank God I still have another son. Thank God I still have another child. You know, you're already nailing him to that cross. And there are spiritual mysteries that can make your child to become decadent and rebellious. When you nail them, when you stereotype them and call them certain names, don't call them those names. Don't. Resist the temptation to. So your good boy is still in that person. The good girl that you raised, that loves and respects you so much, that girl is still in your daughter. She's in puberty. Her hormones are raging. She's trying, the puberty stage is the stage when an adolescent tries to discover self. They try to come into self. And they try to establish their identity. And that is why, their individualistic traits tend to appear as though they are challenging you. So, calm down, dear mother. Calm down, dear father. That your good son is still in that boy. That your loving daughter is still in that girl. Don't be discouraged. Don't be, how can I put it now? Don't blackmail your child. Stop talking about your child to other family members. Oh, Mopelola is now like this, so I no longer recognize her now. She's now a bad girl. She's now a disobedient girl. She's now so immoral. She's now so immoral. She's now this. No, don't. Don't name your child. Don't attach your child to a bad name. Don't nail your child on the cross of a face that will soon pass. Resist the temptation to. A lot of them will grow out of it. Imagine if Jesus' mother Mary, that day that he snuck off and ran back to Nazareth and ran back to Jerusalem instead of following them home to Nazareth. Imagine if the mother had been saying, I know you will not become anything. I know you are a disobedient child. I know you are a bad boy. But I'm sure she did not say that because the words of parents are powerful. Over possible that Jesus would not even have fulfilled his destiny. But Mary did not say anything bad to her son. She did not. She might have spanked him here and there, but I'm sure she did not condescend by words. Be careful. Puberty, adolescence, teenagehood is a very delicate phase in the life of a growing child. That child is still trying to evolve. A lot of things will pan out before identity is established. So while those things are panning out, be patient and stop reporting your children to family members, to your sisters, your aunties, your uncles. Don't report them. You know who you raised. I know who I raised. I know my children. Nobody can tell me my child is this and this because he or she made a mistake. No, that is not my child. The good child I raised is still in that body. And I choose to call my child that good child, not the mistake he made, not the mistake she made. Do you understand? I'm telling you from the perspective of a coach because by the grace of God, I've been privileged to mentor children from 9 countries of the world. A lot of parents have registered their children into my mentorship program. And because I have, a good relationship with my mentees, I'm able to factually tell you that a lot of these things will pass. A lot of these things that you are so worried about, that you are becoming something else, because of them, they will pass. They will pass. It's a phase, it will pass. I remember a mother, it was a father, yes, from Kenya. He registered his only daughter with me for mentorship. And when he registered that girl, the dad was telling me a lot of things. Although I'm not Nigeria, but the moment I came across your video on Facebook, I watched your video, I scrolled past it, but I lost my peace. The Spirit of the Lord kept telling me that my daughter needed your voice. And the man registered his daughter. I was able to mentor the daughter, for a period of time. And when she was established in goodness, it was over. But I know when necessary, the man will still register her again, will still ask me to continue. Because he said, we are not yet over, ma. Whenever I notice anything bothersome, you are still going to have her. I said, no problem. Okay, so I told the man, at the point when the man was registering that girl, he had a lot of complaint. My daughter is this. I'm a single father. The mother is dead. I'm the only one raising her. Please help me. I just want you to mother her for me for this period of time. I said, okay. He registered and we began. All those things that man was worried about, within 3 months, he said he could no longer see them in his daughter. That they were no longer there. All those bothersome qualities, those bothersome things. I said, I told you, sir, this thing will pass. Who did you raise? Who did you raise? From childhood, who did you raise? The man said since the mother died when she was about 6, that he has really tried his best and he knows that he raised a good girl. Then why are you calling her a bad girl? Because of these few mistakes, misdeeds in puberty. She will snap out of it. That goodness will come back up. It is only when you know you failed from the beginning that you can be bothered when your children make mistakes. The Bible says when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? So far you know the foundation is not destroyed, that you raised that child well from the beginning. When that child gets into puberty, just be relaxed a bit. Be more understanding. Yes, be more understanding. All right? Like this morning, let me give you a gist about something this morning. A mother called me this morning. And the mother was telling me that she was on the way taking her children to school. And, she now had to take, her son's earpiece because she was going to the gym. So she now told me that she's bothered, though she's troubled, though something happened at home this morning. I said, what happened? She said when she took the boy's earpiece, that the boy now came to her and began to drag the earpiece with her. And she said she looked at him and said, I only want to use it for gym. I will return it and keep it for you. When you come back from school, you will sit. I think the boy is about 16. He said, the son said, no, you don't know what I'm going through. I'm going through a lot now. This is what is keeping me afloat. The mother said, earpiece is what is keeping you afloat. That the boy said, as in music. So if you spoil this earpiece now, I can no longer listen to music. I don't know how I will be able to cope with what I'm going through. She now said, ask him to sit down. That the boy said, I'm late, we have to go to school. That so on the way to school in the car, also with the father, that she now asked him, what are you going through? If I had not taken your earpiece, would you have told me that you were going through a phase now that was bothersome? That the boy now began to talk, that somebody called him ugly in school. That somebody called him ugly. And because of that, he doesn't want to be nice to anybody again. That he believes it's because he's very nice that people are calling him ugly. I said, what did you now tell him? She said, I just begged him. I told him we'll talk later. So she said, ma, please tell me what to tell him when he comes back. I don't know what to tell him. I said, okay, when he comes back, tell him that he's not ugly. You gave birth to him. You know how to talk to him to really connect. Establish in a psyche that is not ugly. And tell him that nothing anyone tells him should make him change his personality. Because you told me that he said it's because he's too nice to people. That's why they are calling him ugly. Tell him to continue to be nice. Tell him to keep being a good person. That nobody's attitude to him should change his person. Do you understand? Look at this mother now, for example. That if it were to be another parent, that the son was dragging earpiece from her, another mother would have said, this boy will not be kind to me at the evening of my life. This boy is stingy. Ordinary earpiece, he cannot release it. Ordinary earpiece, he cannot give his mother. Upon all the struggle, upon all the stress, upon everything I'm doing to raise him well. Oh, my son is this. He will not take care of me. Oh, ordinary, they would have exaggerated and blew the whole thing out of proportion. But the mother said she just laughed and said, sit down. But the boy said, we are late, let's go. And she told him in the car that, okay, when you come back, we will talk. And I taught her what to say to the boy. Stop exaggerating these things. Do not allow the little mistakes of your adolescent children to make you to surrender them to Satan. A lot of parents, by words of mouth, by reactions, a lot of parents, by the words of their mouth, by their reaction to their children's misbehavior, they have relinquished their children to Satan. Yes, inadvertently, indirectly, or directly, as you will, they have yielded their child to Satan. Yes, there is a way a parent can relinquish his or her daughter to his or her son. There's a way a parent can relinquish his or her son or daughter to Satan by your words, by your reaction. You can indirectly say, Satan, take. I don't want again. By saying, oh, because your child is struggling near peace with you, this child will not be kind, though. Thank God I have other children. I know this one cannot take care of me. A child at 16 that cannot allow me use ordinary earpiece. But listen to the boy. He's going through psychological problems. And the psychological problems he's having is why he did what he did. He was a bit aggressive to the mother. But that is not his real person. That is not the son the woman raised. Because I asked the woman, who did you raise? She said, I raised a very responsible and decent boy. A very kind and good boy. I said, yes, that is your son. Your son is not the one that struggled earpiece with you. It is the psychological problems he's having that is struggling that earpiece with you. So let's get understanding, parents. The Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct. And when a person does not have knowledge, they perish. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Get knowledge, get understanding. It's not as bad as it seems. So if you have come across this video and you are saying, I want this woman to be my daughter's mentor. I want this woman to mentor my son. You can call me or send me a WhatsApp message on 08038408948 so that you can register your child into my mentorship program and I can become your child's mentor. So my name is Dr. Taye Lolu. I'm the founder and visionary of the NGO Raising the Bar with Auntie Taye Lolu. I'm a coach and mentor. And also, if you have any program, either physical conferences for children, either church harvest, church anniversary, youth programs in church, seminars for teens, workshops, or even a parents' gathering, any gathering including parents or any gathering of children is my specialty. So you can call me so that I can come and talk to the children. I can come and speak to the parents as well. And if you have virtual programs as well, you can let me know about it so that I can, give value. All right. So my name is Dr. Taye Lolu once again. And before I go this afternoon, my number is 08038408948. Good afternoon. God bless you.